Good morning, good morning, good morning. Trust you are blessed this morning on this Wednesday. And thank you for all of those that send a message and say, we cannot wait for Wednesday's Key of Faith. Now, before we start, we have our first book that are all the messages that was preached during the time of Keys of Faith that start in the COVID as they put in book form. So it's available, and send the message that we can see how we can get it to you. And they have a fee on this, and Pastor Natasha will also know. But this is not here. I'm not here to advertise books. I'm here also to let you know God has a method how you can face or overcome every obstacle you face with simple keys that we can use. Hebrews chapter 10:38. I went to a Kenneth Hagin meeting in 1979 in a time of great turmoil, depression, didn't know about tomorrow. Tomorrow was a tough time that year's. And Kenneth Hagin preached a simple message in this conference in Johannesburg. The just shall live by faith. Hebrews chapter 10:38. Because we are justified. That's God's way how we gonna live, how we gonna overcome. It's not by feeling, it's by believing. That's why Smith Wigglesworth said, I am not moved by what I feel, what I see, what I hear. I am moved by what I believe. There's a phenomenal, very simple key, and I've spoke millions of times in my time of ministry about this woman with the issue of blood. She did 4 things to tap into the supernatural power of God. Number 1, because scripture says in Luke chapter 8, she suffered of a disease, for he had only a daughter about 12 years of age, and she was dying as Jesus went. The people pressed together around him, almost suffocating him. Verse 43, and a woman who had suffered from a flow. Jesus is on the way to Jairus' house. And here on the way, this woman touched him, who had suffered from a flow of blood for 12 years and had spent all her living upon physicians and could not be healed by anyone. Came up behind him and touched the fringe of his garment, and immediately her flow of blood ceased. And Jesus said, who touched me? Now, this is an interesting story when you start reading about this woman in the gospel. She first heard about Jesus. Faith comes by what I hear. Fear comes the same way. That's why I choose faith over fear. She heard about Jesus, so she said, your mouth will always line up with what you believe. She said, she spoke the answer, the solution. If I will touch or can touch the hem of his garment, I will be healed. Then she put action to it. Crowds were pushing. Jesus was on the way to Jairus' house. And this woman touched him. And the moment when she touched him, Jesus said, who is it that touched me? Verse 45, when all were denying it, Peter and those who were with him said, Master, the multitude surround you, and you press you on every side. But Jesus said, someone that touched me, for I perceive that healing power has gone forth from me. The other scripture says virtue. What it means, she heard, she said, she become a doer of what she said must happen. The action speaks louder than just words. And then when she touched him, the miracle happened. How did it happen? Because she had faith suddenly came up, rose up in her. And when she said it, I will be healed. She put action on it and she touched him. Simple methods. Hear, say, do, and receive. And then scripture says, and when the woman saw that she had no not escape notice. She came up trembling, and she declared in the presence of all the people for what reason she had touched him and how she had been instantly cured. And Jesus said to her, "Daughter, your faith, your confidence and trust in me has made you well. Go, enter into peace, untroubled, undisturbed, and well-being." What a phenomenal, simple way. The gospel is simple. We make it complicated. We make our situations complicated. But this work in every area of your life. Hear the word, speak the word, do the word, and receive the word, and your breakthrough will be there. Don't be double-minded. A double-minded person will not receive anything. God's plan is that you will tap into the life and life in abundance that he shed his blood so that you and I can be redeemed and free and walk in the finished work of Calvary. Well, this is Gustav du Toit here at Lofdal. Did I tell you lately that I love you and we love you and we want to see you made whole? God bless you. Until Friday morning with our Partnership Friday, you are more than an overcomer. Say it. I am what the word says I am. I can do what the word says I can do. I will achieve what the word says I will achieve, and I can have what the word says I can have, because I am redeemed from the curse of the law, so that the blessing of Abraham can come upon me. God bless you, and we love you.